Mark. I work at one of the Apple store, and Apple just released the latest version of the iPhones, right? The iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S. So today that I would say, don't buy both of them because they both suck. Well, Apple betrayed the whole world because the terms or the so-called budget iPhone or so-called low-cost iPhone spread throughout the world in the past, and people have been waiting for that. But at the end, the iPhone 5C is not cheap at all. It's very expensive. Polycarbonate shit like plastic stuff. But today I tried it today. The 5C is the back is very slippery, and the thing is it's slightly bigger than the iPhone 5. But I don't think the iPhone 5C requires cases. But the thing is, if polycarbonate plastic is so good, why did Apple just discontinue the MacBook White? Well, of course, the 5C better front-facing camera, and supports wide range of LTE technology, better front-facing cameras, slightly better for the battery life, but still quite expensive. Did you know that for the last 2 years, which model iPhone was the best selling iPhone in the world? And you bet it was the iPhone 4 because it was the least expensive one. So for me personally, if you don't have an iPhone and if you want to buy a new iPhone, don't buy the iPhone 5C because it's not a new one. It's merely the iPhone 5 with plastic bezel enclosure, slightly better for the front-facing camera, larger for battery life, wider range, or whatever. Still very expensive. Apple is killing itself because nobody really cares about those features. And it's something that they can grab easily, something slightly cheap or something. So don't buy that. And what about the thing is, you can don't get me wrong. Things like there are two different reasons why we should upgrade. First, of course, the device is too slow for today. Let's say we really can't use the first generation iPad, but actually we can if you use the iPad just for reading newspaper or playing Angry Birds. But the thing is, of course, but you might notice when, let's say you go to an Apple store and then you try the fourth generation of the iPad with Retina display, and then you go home and you try your own first generation iPad, you might see dramatical difference. Okay, so the thing is, for me personally, if you really want to buy the iPhone 4 is way too slow today. I would suggest the iPhone 4. What's what the 5S is great, pretty much the same size compared to the iPhone's 5. Better camera, speaker, aperture, and better battery life, of course, fingerprint sensor, great. And Apple claims 6 times faster for the processor compared to the iPhone 4S and 2 times faster compared to the 5. Great, perfect. But the thing is still in experimental state because it's the first generation of the fingerprint sensor. So therefore, remember when they first released the MacBook Pro with Retina display, and after that with image persistent or image retention problems, they did the minor change models. So the thing is, iPhone 5S is not the same, it's still quite expensive. It's very expensive thing. Yeah, it's expensive. So for me personally, don't go for both of them. And you might say, Mark, fuck you, man, fuck. You might say, Mark, fuck. It's a very impolite word. And you go, ask Bruce Willis. So the thing is, the iPhone 4 is too slow. So, and the iPhone 5 is a great one if you already have. It's good. So if you already have the iPhone 5. But the thing is, even though you already have the iPhone 4, you may not need the iPhone 5S to see. It depends on how you plan on using your device or iPhone 4. You're going to have to ask yourself clearly and deeply about how do you plan on using your device for. Even though you already have probably you have the iPhone 4, even 3GS, you can use it if you just do like regular phone call or play like Angry Birds or like Temple Run. Let's say you don't need you don't do like Infinity Blade 3 or that or something of that kind. So for me personally, you're my best friend. Don't buy the iPhone 5S because I don't really trust the reliability of the fingerprint buttons or fingerprint sensor. And for the 64-bit, to enhance gaming experience, I think the screen of the 5 is probably too small for gaming anyway. Okay, it's probably the iPhone screen is way too small. So the verdict is, if you already have an iPhone, I don't think you should upgrade at the moment. Probably you can wait for the iPhone 6, I think, iPhone 6 or 6.5, whatever. But please don't buy the iPhone 5C with the plastic enclosure because they lower the cost of the material, but they increase the price, taking advantage from people around the world. What about the 5S? It's great, better camera, but the thing is, don't buy a phone because of the camera, because you can spend even half amount to buy a DSLR camera. You know what? I spent half the price of the iPhone buying like this Sony Handycam. I'm using the Sony one, Handycam things like. The thing is that's great. Even with a bigger aperture, a better flash, whatsoever. But you can spend you can buy like a small, tiny DSLRs or point and shoot camera things. Don't buy a phone with camera because these two is poor battery life of the iPhone 5S. Let's see. Damn this UFO! Shit, the battery is empty. Piece of trash. And don't forget one thing. As a buyer, I'm going to tell you something. If you want to buy any Apple, it doesn't have to be the iPhone. Try to buy the least expensive one. Try to buy the least possibly price. Why? Because the thing is, first, you buy an expensive phone, iPhone 5S, you dropped it, it's going to cost you more. It got stolen, it's going to cost you more. Next year they release a new one, it's going to cost you more. Therefore, more expensive can be translated to more risk, more venture. You're going to pay more. So for me personally, if you ask Mark Pubate, don't buy both of them. If you already have the iPhone 4S or the iPhone 5, congratulations. I can't tell you because I don't have the time here. You're gonna have to, judge by yourself, or you go to my Facebook, you leave your comment there, or you ask your question there. I'm gonna answer that. So don't buy both of them. They're pretty suck. And you might say, Mark, fuck you. You represent Apple? How can you blame Apple products? Shit. Well, Apple, we have a wide range of products. The thing is, we don't just sell the iPhone, right? You're gonna have to buy something. Everything counts. You can save your money from buying the iPhone, and then you can save that amount that you're going to waste with the iPhone 5C or the iPhone 5S. You can spend that amount of money to buy something else. Probably you can buy the time capsule, 3 terabyte. You can buy the new MacBook Air with Haswell processor with AC connectivity. Then you can get the most out of that time capsule. Probably you can save money for the Apple TV, or save more money for the iMac. You get plenty of things. Don't forget, you need more things. Probably you can save that money. You have to buy the iMac with Fusion Drive, 3 terabyte. Apple cares, more RAM, something like that. Unless, of course, if you are the richest man in the world, or if you are a billionaire, you don't need this video, right? Money is not the problem. Just go buy iPhone 5S. You don't just throw it away. That's the thing. So, the verdict is, I'm telling you that I'm going to help you save money. I'm not blaming Apple product because I work for Apple. I'm not saying Apple products are not good. So the thing is, think clearer. You can save this amount and you can use this amount to buy something else. Don't buy the 5C and don't buy the iPhone 5S. Don't buy both of them. I would recommend, Mark Pubate recommend the iPhone 4S or the iPhone 5. Thanks for watching.